doing today? I'm trying this new setup here, the one I was trying to set up for Discord. I finally got it, by the way. All right, I'm just waiting for people. If you're here, can you say hey? Let me know you're here. Yeah, I just had to turn all my air off and everything because it was just too much noise, you know. I already have noise from my computer. It's like a big gaming computer, so it's, you know. Have you ever made a traveler's journal before, Amy? I'm gonna gather some things. Sorry, I'm getting my big butt in the way there. Embarrassing. I'm not used to being on camera necessarily on YouTube, but I really would like to, you know, show my face to people. Okay, well, cool. Grab an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So I have a cream colored one, and I'm just gonna use scraps for this pretty much. So but I like this one more than this one because this one is quite thick, you know, and it's more conducive to holding its shape. And so I'm going to show you how to make this. You'll obviously have your own paper and your own design, but I'm going to show you how to make a bare bones item here. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. All right. Let's see. Go ahead and measure this. About 8 1/4 by. Oh, nice. I love organization. Okay, so start out with a piece of cardstock, like the thickest cardstock you have. 8.5 by 8.5. You can do these lots of different sizes, but you know, we'll just go with that for now. All right. So I'm going to go with 8.5 by 8.5. So let me make a couple of little marks on this. And there's a few ways I can do this, and let's see. What was your favorite thing that you did to organize your scraps, Amy? What do you think turned out particularly well? Hello, everybody. So good to see you. Say hey if you want to. I would love to say hey back. Right now, we are making a traveler's journal, and so this is my my prototype. I made this a long time ago. It also has these different, let's see, are these even envelopes? I didn't even make these envelopes. That's so funny. Or were they made a different way? Oh yeah, they are envelopes, but it looks like I pasted them together. All right, so Dawn, what happened with that was that I emailed you and told you that the only way I could cancel your membership would be to block you. And as far as, like, you know, I don't want you to be blocked. Let me just say that. But I didn't see any other way. Patreon doesn't seem to allow people to, or site owners to cancel people. That has to be done on your end. And since I didn't hear from you for a few weeks, I went ahead and just blocked you so that your account wouldn't be charged again. Hi, Michelle. So I'm really sorry about that, but I can unblock you. It's just you'll need to go in and make that correction so that your credit card doesn't get charged again. That was mainly what I was concerned about. So if you want to manage that and everything, please email me at helpdesk@junkjournalboss.com and we'll get y'all fixed up, okay? All right, so I'm going to mark it at 4 inches and 4.5 in a couple different places. Alrighty, and we're just chilling. How's everybody keeping cool? We finally got our AC in, guys. It's amazing. It's a one of those split systems, which I had never heard of until Todd was shopping for one, and it works really well. We've been strictly a swamp cooler family for a long, long time. And so, because we kind of live out in a deserty sort of area, that kind of heat. So I'll just give you a basic idea of what, where we live. Okay, this page is, I'm starting with an 8.5 by 8.5. I chose my thickest cardstock, all right, and then I scored it at 4 and 4.5. Okay, so I scored it like that, and now I'm going to erase these. Oh, yes, of course you'll have access on. Yes, go ahead and email me at helpdesk@junkjournalboss.com, and we'll get you all set up. So if you want to go into it's the $2 membership, you are more than welcome to do that, and I'd be happy to get you all worked out. Okay, glad you're staying anyways. Okay, so Amy has a mini split. Yeah, does yours work pretty well? For now, ours is working really well. I'm hoping that it lasts, and I think I like it well enough that I might want to get it installed, you know. Let's see, getting it like this side, even if I have pencil marks. You know, get it installed in our bedrooms and offices and stuff like that. So that's where we're at. But in here, it's kind of cold in here. I mean, cold. It's kind of. I'm just telling myself that. No, it's. Oh, cool. All right. I didn't know you were in Canada, Amy. All right, so this is what we end up with, right? Just this. This is just kind of the bare bones. So this thing here, so I was doing a bunch of these at the same time, and what I ended up doing, I don't remember thinking, you know, about not making these envelopes, and I even in fact used junk mail in envelopes, but somehow, oh, this one is a tuck. I wonder if I did it that way for a lot of them. But you can tell looking inside of here. Oh my goodness. Oh, so, okay. Oh, sure, of course. I'll just type it in for you, Dawn, okay? Hey, I know I'm looking rough today and everything, but do you guys like this better if my face is on camera? Does it make you feel like I'm actually a person and not just a pair of hands? Okay, so some of these, yeah, are envelopes. I did make them that way. It's just they, it looks like some of the glue kind of glued them together, but yeah, you're welcome, Dawn. So, you know, you can leave them as tucks or pockets. I find that tucks probably work better, or would work better, I should say, because, oh, I know what I can do. Oh my gosh, guys. So, I learned from our challenge, when I got to G, I learned about something called gussets. And has anybody made those before? Because I'm going to feel really dumb. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish it up and put it in the shop and sell it. I'm probably going to do that with a lot of my stuff because I don't have any more space, you know, to store things. So I'm going to have to start selling this stuff. But anyways, gussets. So let me show you kind of what I mean by that. I obviously don't have one here for whatever reason. I went and moved it, but I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it when I get to it. So here is this. We have this. It's 8.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 and 4.5. And folded into a tall cover. So I made a couple of these. I know, Amy, my whole room here is maxed out. So I'm thinking that instead of doing, you know, just the envelope pockets, possibly making some envelopes like this that are maybe on the inside, right? That can open. But what makes these better than the envelopes, in my opinion, is that they have gussets right here that are just glued in. So it allows for more finger space, you know, like when you want to get your fingers in there and grab whatever it is. So I think I'm going to make this one a gusset traveler's journal. And here's another one that I made, just an envelope. And you can open it up. I mean, this one's long, so you're going to be able to open it up anyways. But here's the gusset here. So I think that's the kind of pockets I'm going to use. So it'll be a traveler's journal plus, or with gussets or something. I don't know what I'll call it. That sounds crazy. But I learned that from, I think it was Mary in the challenge. So let's see. All right. What is this? Oh, this might be like cereal box. That might be a better idea. But we're going to just go ahead and go with it for now, because when we make our cover with all of our pockets and stuff like that, and I'm probably going to be doing this over the next, you know, until 4 here and on Twitch at 3. But anyways, yeah, so let's see. Dawn, we do have the A to Z prompt challenge that's going on right now, but what we're already on the 2nd week. The price is $27 if you'd like to come in right now, and just let me know, you know, when you email me, and I will email you the info. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm letting myself think of too many things at the same time. Okay, so I've got this. When I do, we're going to do also a, you know, one of these, usually I make these with junk envelopes or whatever, see? You know, but we'll work on that. But for now, it would probably be good to reinforce this. And I think I am going to do that. So let me go get some cardboard. Actually, I think not cardboard. I think just another one of these would do just fine. So let's actually, where's my cutter? Sure, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I mean, really, in the grand scheme, I'm probably going to cover all of this up. So, yeah, for sure. This is just like cream colored paper. So, and I think it'll just work just fine. A lot of times I just start with like old, cardboard boxes, and then I just end up covering the whole thing. So that's kind of how I roll. But today I'm using some brand new pieces of paper, and just didn't feel like doing cardboard stuff today. Okay, so go ahead and this and this. And what is inevitably going to happen is, yeah, so if you do this and you do your inside, just make sure that it's more like scored, you know, instead of a 1/2 inch in the center, like 4 and 4.5, do 4 and 3/8 or something similar to that, because that will afford you the space. Because inevitably what happens whenever I put 2 pieces of paper together, it wants to buckle underneath, so you're going to have to give it a little bit of space to do that. And so here is my final, goodness, come on. This is stubborn, and it's because it's like a higher GSM paper. So crisp, and that's going to give me a little extra space on one edge, but we can always fix that. So, and you can see what it looks like right here. So this part here, that's the flatter part right here, I guess you could say, I don't know, flat or whatever. I'm going to glue that right in the center, and so that when it closes, it's not going to buckle here. So I'm going to try that. That's my idea for now. Don't hold me to it, but we're going to try it. Let's see what happens. And everyone in the challenge, I believe I got it. I got the Discord settings correct finally. Yeah, they were just like sound settings in my settings, not in the server settings or anything, but in my settings. So, oh look, this looks pretty darn good. What do you think? Pretty good. The only thing that doesn't look very nice is right here where I folded it a second time, but I'm gonna just be okay with that. Alright, so now I can go ahead and I'm gonna put glue here, and rather than laying it flat, I am going to actually fold it along the score line. And so I'm really hoping this is going to work. Yeah. Well, let me just put it here. That's always been kind of an issue for me, is when I put paper together. Like sometimes, you know, when you print single-sided, you know, you got the white part, you don't really want the white part to show, so you just glue, at least I do, so you just glue like a piece of, you know, of cool paper, and so, you know, I'm always getting that buckling thing. So this doesn't look like it's going to be a problem, but what it will do is it may not lay completely flat, but I don't know if that matters. If it matters to you, you might need to do something different, or just use something thicker, like cereal box or something, and not put, but even if you were to cover the cereal box with regular paper, you're still going to have some of that buckle. You'll just have to be real careful not to. So here I have a little bit extra, and I was thinking I'll cut that off, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just chill for a minute. I might have an idea for it. So the next part, let's do, so we got this left, right? And so now we want a piece of paper that is the same size as this. So it's going to be 4 by 8.5, okay? And I'm just using simple tools. I have a lot of really good tools, but I don't tend to like to get up and go get something if I don't have to. And I've told you guys about my big heavy, well, I don't know who that is, but anyways, I told you guys about my big heavy cutter that will cut through, oh, I'm going to make some pockets here. It will cut through that thicker cardboard, you know, up to probably like 100 point cardboard. And I forget what that's called. So anyway, I'm going to maybe choose some colors out of my gel prints, and if you guys want to see how to do that, I believe that's what I talked about last week or the week before, was how to make gel prints like this. And so I'm going to choose some colors that maybe go with this, and that'll be my theme for do I want to do this or do I want to do this? So I got some pretty neat gel prints here, and actually these aren't gel prints, just so you know. You know, this is just like edges like these, you know, all glued together and drawn on, and everything. You know, I'm a doodler, so you know that kind of happens sometimes for me. Some of these are double-sided, so I want to make sure not to take any double-sided. I don't know where those are. Maybe they're down here. I don't know. But some of them are, and so I want to save those for inside, right? Like I did here. You know, so that they got something on each side, and it just adds a little bit of interest, you know, to it. And you see that I didn't really cut stuff down, you know. I just folded it, and what that does is it just gives an extra tuck spot if you want, or you know, you can cut it off and use it for something else if you don't want to do it that way. All right, so really, let me get serious here. I'm not sure what the color scheme is that I want to go with. I tend to want to go with turquoise and gold and stuff, because that's sort of my vibe right now, but I think maybe y'all are getting tired of seeing that vibe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where my double-sideds went. Does anybody see anything really cool that they'd like, that they would think was pretty, oh God, that would look nice? That would be like really cool. I don't know. So here are some of those double-sideds, you know. Those would be ones that I put inside, so just taking note of what I have here. As far as like double-sided stuff goes, I want to use those as the pages if I decide to use those colors. Here's another one. And I think I maybe might have run out of double-sided. So I get the double-sided ones by printing, you know, like the whole PDF of all the pages, and just choose double-sided printing. I'm sure that you guys probably already knew that, but I told you anyway. I think it's just going to be an eclectic, you know, yellows, pinks, turquoise, greens. I think that's just what it's going to be. But I may, these are those. This one is just not as vibrant as I'd like it to be, so I don't know about that one. But I have a lot to choose from here. So I think I'll just quit goofing around and start putting things together. So this one here is okay. what I was saying before about my tools is, you know, I don't want to get them all out because this is like really easy to do, you know, just tearing and ripping, and it really lends itself nicely to, you know, junk journal making if you like the weathered distressed edges. So, and I do. It's going to be a real surprise at the end, guys. I'm just telling you. So when I'm gluing, you know, paper, I use 32-pound paper. So when I'm gluing that onto something, I'm not going to use the Barely Art or, you know, the Art Glitter glue, because I kind of want to be able to, well, I want to be able to get a smooth glue, but you can also get a not smooth glue from using too much glue, even a glue stick, and nori paste or whatever it is. Is Melissa here? If you are, hello Melissa. And just go kind of like that, and then trim. Okay, so let me just go over it this way a little, get any bubbles out, and move the glue to the outside here edges, and this looks really good, and it looks nice and flat. I like that. Might need a little extra glue on the corners. Yeah, it does. Okay, so let me think of how I want to do this. I'm going to go ahead and cut these really, I think at four again, and then I may be able to use this other little piece here, but maybe, I don't know, it just depends on what I come up with. So put that aside. Right. So now I've got this, and I want this to be made into pockets. Now I have to decide how tall I want the tallest pocket, and on this one it actually goes all the way to the top. So, but they're all staggered, you know. So you can do it whatever way you want. If you want it like the tallest one to be the tallest, I'll probably just do it eclectic as usual, and let you guys decide how you want to do yours. But what I'm doing right now is actually just making this part here with all of the pockets, and then what we'll do is, you know, the next part will be to glue this part here with all the pockets assembled and everything onto the top. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. So the reason why this is a really cool project for junk mail envelopes is because they have a tab, you know. So if we're looking at this and opening up all these pockets, okay, so this is an envelope, right, from junk mail, and over here would be the tab, right, the thing that flaps over, you know, to close the envelope. And so that's why these are really popular for this. And so let's see, I don't think I'm going to use envelopes this time. So what I'm going to need to do is actually attach hinges. And I think that'll work out fine because I intend to put gusset envelopes perhaps on the front. Not sure. But whatever it is, it's going to be pretty. So let me go ahead and I think I'll cut these ones straight across, but you can do them straight across or you can do them, it's fine to do them diagonal if you want to. I've done both. Oops, I went the wrong thing. All right, so I'm going to do my first one. At 5, and then my second one is, oh, it's a little crooked, is 3.5, and I think that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good difference in size, but I am going to straighten this here. Yes, I did get it a little bit crooked. Yeah, just a little bit. Gosh, it's just so minuscule on this side. I don't know why it wasn't on the other side. So let's see. I'm going with it. Okay, here we go. So now I've got one pocket, and where's my thing? So I've got, you know, a tall pocket that can go all the way to the top if I want. And I've got this size pocket. All right, I'm gonna stagger all of these, but I definitely need more pockets. So I need 4 more pieces of cardstock, and I'm just gonna use, you know, this regular cardstock. And if I want to, I can cover the front or the back or whatever, you know. And I think on this one, I'm going to probably make this more like, oops, let me go over here. I'm going to make these 5 inches. And the reason for that is because I want to score this. And I'm going to score it at 1 inch. And then I'll have the flap. So I'm doing it both ways, so don't let me confuse you, and make sure to ask any questions because I'm doing them a couple different ways. And you can choose your favorite. All right. So the envelopes can be any size that you want, or the flaps can be any size you want. It's really kind of up to you. I'm doing 5 for the biggest one, you know, and then I've got 3.5, right? But then I'm gonna do some more here out of this one. So I'll probably do like a 4, maybe a 2, you know, something like that. Well, wait, there's 3.5. Yeah, maybe I'll do a 6. I'll do a 6, and that'll be my biggest pocket. And that way we've got at least 1 inch between each flap. Okay, so again, I did a score right here. So that this can become the, you know, the flap that goes glued on the back. And everything's going to be glued on the back so that everything becomes, you know, like a door. Okay? These ones, though, are ones that I don't have a flap for. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this 1.5 inch piece of like this scrap right here, and I'm going to glue it on, this is the wrong side, I'm going to overlap it and glue it on at about 1/2 inch. What I'm looking for is I want my, let's see, I want this to be, hang on, I'm confused. Okay, I want this to be 5 inches wide, including this flap here. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm probably just going to eyeball this kind of, you know, I'm going to use maybe the measurement on here as a guide, but that's what I'm going to do. And line it up. Sure it's nice and straight, and then just cut this part off. Alright, so the fold will be here, right where the two meet, you know, or right where, I'm sorry, right where the end of this paper is. So I am going to, well, maybe do it this way, put that part on the inside. So now I've got this, you know, which ends up being, you know, another one. So, and all I did was just reinforce it with this and add a flap. And that's what I'm going to do with this one too. Just make sure that when you're doing this, that you're not doing it on the wrong edge. You know, they all should be 4 inches wide if you're doing this project. Okay, looks like this has a little bit of extra here, probably because I did that little cut before, or trim. Alright, and again, I have it glued on, overlapping a 1/2 inch here, right, to this paper. Overlap them a 1/2 inch and then fold here. You're not going to want to fold this one because you want this to be 4 inches across. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. And so now I've got, looks like I've got 4 pockets. So let's just start looking at what this is gonna, how this is turning out. So I can put the biggest one on the bottom if I want, but I like to kind of overlap them. Usually what I do is put largest to smallest stack, because it is going to allow us to see all of these, okay? And so right now, so far, I've got 1, 2, oops, let's go this way, 3 and 4, and we can leave it at 4, or we can continue to add things. So these might look a little weird, but when we glue them on, yeah, anyway, never mind. Don't listen. Forget that I said that. Okay, so now I'm going to just do a couple more. And let me get my 4 inches again. 4-inch piece. and then I'm going to go ahead and just do one of these three, or one of these, let's see. So this is 6 inches, so let's do, well, we can always fix it. I'll do one 3.5, but I think we already have a 3.5, although it's not going to be that big of a deal, and it's because we can stagger those. I forgot to make this 5, so I'm going to have to do this again, this part, and this is a 3.5, 4. Okay, so using this ruler here, I'm going to go ahead and put this at about a 1/2 inch. I hope nobody has a fire at their house or something, you know, because they're trying to get a hold of me. But I can't look right now because my phone is right above me. Okay, so again, we can fold it backward or forward or whatever way you want. I kind of want the part where it's glued together to be on the inside rather than the outside. And it really doesn't matter, you know, that much. So there's that, and I'll do one more. And then we'll start laying them out. Forward a little. Oh shoot. Sorry, I almost cursed. Which is quite a bit part of my language, but I know that not everybody likes that, so I do try to keep my language in check. Okay, so I'm going to fold this back like that. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's do this. So I've got my largest one I can put at the top. And then I'm going to take my second largest one. All right. And I'm going to take my third largest one. But it's actually, this one also, hang on. What am I doing here? No, I got it right. I also have another third largest one, but it's okay because I can just simply, what is happening here? Oh, I see. It was getting caught on that. I can just stagger it, make it smaller, you know, and then I've got this. Oops, it's not over enough. Anyway, it's looking wonky, but don't worry. It'll look different. So now I've got all 6, right? So I can look at these and space them out, you know, fairly the same, or I can leave it like this. It just depends. So on here, I've got, you know, maybe like 3/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch, and then, you know, maybe 2 inches, 1.5 inches, and 3 inches. So, you know, it can go any way you want. There's not really any wrong way to do this. So let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and just start gluing. And just for good measure for Michelle, she was asking the sizes. This one's 6 inches tall. This one is 5-ish. And so I think I'm going to bring this down a little bit here. Let's see. To maybe 1.5 inches. And if it doesn't work out completely, it's not a big deal, really. As much as I can, I'm going to open this up and try to just glue it in as close to the edge as I can. Some of these are not going to work that way, but as much as we can get that to happen, we want to do it. And so let's go like 1.5 inches down. Go ahead and fold that over, and it still can fold over this guy here. So now I'm going to have to start gluing over this one, but I'm going to open this so there's not so much bulk, and I'm going to do that at about 1.5 inches down as well. Okay, I'm going to pick these up, close this one, and put, let's see where that is, where 1.5 inches down is, about right there. And let me make a little bitty mark. Oops. And so basically I'm just staggering them, and I am gluing on one side then the other, one side then the other. Okay. This. So you can kind of see. And I don't love how this is kind of not all the way to the corner there, so I'm gonna, it's still kind of tacky. So I'm going to try to get that as close as I can. And so this is another reason why you might want to just cut these at 5 inches instead of adding a hinge, because now there's like two, well, I guess not really, but anyway, I find that the ones that I already cut up, okay, yeah, so here's our 4 by 8.5 piece with a pretty piece of paper. And then what you're doing is you're making, let's see, let me give you some measurements, guys. I wish I had a dry erase here, but I do not a dark one anyway. Okay, so what we've got here, I'll just write it on here. We've got a, just cut this, 5 by 6 inches for that one, okay? By, what are you? 5. Okay, so there's that and that. Now this one is 5 by 3.5. So the second number on these is how tall it's going to be, okay? First number is how wide you're going to cut it. And then this one is also 5 by 3.5. And then I have 2 more. This is a thicker one. And so I'm going to glue on this side. And this one happens to be 2.5. So it's 5 by 2.5. And then this one is also 5 by 2.5. So these are just my measurements, okay? You can glue, I mean, you can make your measurements different if you'd like. All right, so let's open this up here. And so when you're gluing, you're not gluing to the front, okay? You're gluing these all to the back. So let's see. Okay, this one and then this one, so now it's this one. I'm looking at the top of this, I'm just eyeballing to see that it is about 1.5 inches down, okay, from here. And I'm gonna, oops. Gonna line this up here. Kind of move it around a little. So now we've got this. And some of these are kind of wonky, you know, but don't worry, because you'll always be able to, I don't know what's going on with this one, but you'll always be able to, you know, make changes, add something to the side, you know, if it looks weird or whatever. There's always something you can do. All right, and so this is my last one, and it's going about 1 inch to the bottom here. And so these get kind of bulky, and it's kind of irritating. So just letting you know that it may change the way that things look, but all in all, you'll be able to make those corrections to make it look how you want. But here we are, okay? So next hour, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some paper, and I'm gonna use my gel print paper to make pockets for the inside, maybe gusset pockets. I wanna try that. And they can actually go on the front or the back, you know. I was also even thinking about this one. Where is that? Here it is. And this one's about 4 inches, so, you know, you can put them on the front or the back. This one, you know, I can probably put on here if I want to. It's a little long, so maybe that's not going to do, but you know, but I can glue it on, and even if I did do it that way, it would still just poke out some pretty paper. And you know, or other option is here, you know, so that way when it pokes out, it's just this paper, you know, it doesn't have a seam or anything like that. So next hour I'm going to be on Twitch, which is twitch.tv /Junk Journal Boss. And so I'm going to go head over there. You guys go and grab a drink, get over to Twitch, and we'll finish this part up, okay, on the top here. And let me just say too that you guys need to have a Twitch account if you want to chat. So a lot of you guys do, but some of you guys don't. But I'd love to chat with you. You know, there's like 10 of you guys here. I would love it if you would come over to Twitch and chat over there, or at least you can just watch the rest of it. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. I usually download from Twitch and upload to my channel. Cool, Darla. And so in a couple of days you can just come and look at my Twitch uploads, and they're unedited and everything, so it's going to be similar to this. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys, and I'll see you guys next hour over at Twitch.